that bit in started. All right. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the what is this? The May 2022 edition of the PRA meeting. We'll start off with introductions. So I am Anthony, KE70SN, and I'm on the board at large. And I'll work my way around roughly where I can see people. We'll start with Anna.
I'm Annalise McDermott. You can call me Anna if you like. I'm NH6Z, and I'm also a board member at large.
Then we have Andy.
I'm Andy, W7AAU. I'm a board member and the treasurer.
And then the other Andy.
Andy Noble, AA7AV, out here southwest of Philomath.
Paul.
Paul, W7PEB, and I live down south of Roseburg.
Bill.
Hi there, Bill, KE7ZKH, member at large at the board and coming from Corvallis.
Mike.
W7RIS, Mike, and I live about 10 miles north of Corvallis, and I'm the custodian of the club license.
Ted.
I'm W7RTM. I'm also a member of the board, club secretary.
Steve.
I'm Steve, KW7F, and I live in Northwest Corvallis.
Don and Betsy.
Betsy, K7BTS, and I'm not a part of the board, but I'm happy to be a member.
Don, W7DMR, we're just north of Corvallis.
Next up, Tyler.
Doug Parsons, WB7DD, South Corvallis, and I'm not a board member.
And I believe this is Ron.
Yeah, Ron Post, E4JL, and just somebody new and reaching out to find out what you're all about.
Welcome. Scott.
Hi, I'm Scott, KF7GGN. I live in Corvallis. Close to Steve there, very close, and I'm not a board member, just a rank and file.
Olin.
WA7YXY, Corvallis.
And last but not least, Drew.
Drew Terrell coming in from South Albany, W3HES, and I'm just bored.
All right, welcome everybody. So first order of business is the secretary's report. Ted.
To all, hopefully you received a copy of the minutes from April. Sent that out, I believe, last Friday, possibly Thursday. If there's any questions, comments, concerns, additions, deletions, etc., please let me know. W7RTM@ARRL.net. Thank you.
Thank you, Ted. Treasurer's report, Andy.
Treasurer's report as of May 13, 2022. Our savings account was $2,481.50. And our checking account was $1,858.10. Our total OSCU balance is $4,339.60. Our PayPal balance is $226.70. Our cash balance is $36.24. Our total funds are $4,602.54. And we have spent $352 to register for the field day site with the city of Corvallis. And our liability insurance premium of $182 will be due next month. And that's all for the treasurer's report.
All right, thank you, Andy. So for the trustees report, let me see if I can pull up. I haven't seen any updates on the Let's see. Looks like there is a weak output on the Otter Crest, 145, 390. And that looks like the only update since February. So that's what's going on with the repeater system. As always, check out w7pra.com or the PRA Repeater Info Center page on Facebook. So old business. I'll start out with, I know Paul has been working on a survey to send out to the membership. So keep an eye out for that. That'll go out through the Ham Club online email system. So everybody should get that once that's ready, and we'll make sure everybody knows it's coming. And then the other thing I had on the list for old business was there was a little contest the other weekend where a group of us went out to the Walton Lake Snow Park, as we've done for several years, and played in 7QP. I'll pass it over to Mike for a summary, and then we can pass around to anybody else that wants to talk it up.
Sure. Actually, let me share the screen. I got just a couple slides here that I'll share that shows what we did there. And okay, so everybody should have something up there on their screen. So this last weekend, 5 of us headed up to the Crow's Nest there in the Ochoco National Forest there, called Walton Lake Snow Park, and that's at 5,000 feet. And we set up and operated the 7QP contest, and that's something that I try and sponsor every year. Year before last, when COVID hit, was the only year that we didn't really do anything there as far as a organization. So this year we used the N1MM logging program, and this is a summary of what things look like. And as you can see, one of the things that really does a whole lot for adding an awful lot of points, and that's CW. So we got 4 bands there that we have a little CW there on, and it was pretty amazing how that really did a really good job as far as adding points to everything. The other part that was really cool was also on phone. We had a lot of activity on phone, and that helped our score up. So the 144,000 is the largest that we've had for a score. Now that is, it still has to go through the processing. So this is unprocessed. And typically we'll lose about 5% off of that score because of broken QSOs or something that didn't get recorded correctly. So that's what that looks like there. And also the multiplier, one multiplier multiplies, gives you basically 18.2 Qs. That's the highest that we have ever seen before. So here's a nice little running tally of kind of history. I think it was back in 2014 when we first started getting together, that there was 3 of us that got together for this event. And at that point in time, if you look at the bottom of this little spreadsheet, you can see that we had about 59,000 out of the 3 of us, which is a pretty decent score there. But it was only like 582 contacts, but we got 3rd place. And you can see each year it changed a little bit. We still had a little propagation in 2015. By the time we got into 2016, 17, and 18, we had, and also kind of 19, we had kind of lost all of the propagation. But still, we were able to pull out 1st places there overall for our particular expedition class that we were in. So last year, 2020, we didn't do anything. 21, we pulled in 2nd place. We kind of got stuck in that rut there, 2nd place. In 2021, the guys that got first place had more than twice the score that we had here. So those guys were pretty significant. And then here we are in 2022. This is kind of our raw score, but you can see that, here we jumped all the way up over 1,000 contacts there. We had a score there of over 144,000. And again, CW played a huge thing in it. Really important to see that CW count. That really helped out. And we had the best ever phone count there and a little bit of digital put in it, but we still don't know. It'll be a couple months before we know how we end up placed in there. But we really did a really good job this year for a relatively small crew. But the nice thing is we had propagation this year. We had the best propagation that we've had for a long time, and that really helped us out. So anybody else had any other comments there about what I got up there?
Just want to give kudos to Scott for all that paddle work.
Yep. And Scott's always our CW guy. But you can see even in 2018, he still had a whopping good score in there. I was really blown away at how well that he had that in there. But in this year here, he came out even better yet.
Congrats. That's awesome, guys.
Okay, let me get out of this and turn it back to net control here.
All right. So any other old business for the meeting?
Well, let's see. Last weekend we had 2 events. We had the One Link emergency drill, semi-annual drill, and we also had the Armed Forces interoperability. And I was able to successfully complete all of the WinLink portions. But I tried my darndest, and I could not get in to talk to anybody on the Armed Forces crossband. I heard the USS Iowa. They were coming in fairly weak. They could not hear me at all. Everybody else was just totally down in the mud.
All right. Anything else?
I had the same experience with the military one. I heard Travis Air Force Base, that was the only one, but I couldn't get an answer.
All right. Anything else for old business? All right. New business. So hot off the tails of 7QP, the next major event for a lot of people is going to be Field Day. So I'll turn it back over to Bill.
Yes, I have to apologize. I should have had a couple of emails out now to the entire membership talking up Field Day, but I've been wrapped around some health issues. So hopefully I'll get something like that out soon. Still planning on setting up in Willamette Park like we have for the last several years, minus COVID. And I'm assuming that we're going to get at least 5 or 6 transmitters operating simultaneously, the usual gang of suspects. What I want to do is put out a call for anyone who doesn't ordinarily attend to just come on out, see what we're doing, chew the rag, and maybe take a turn on the air. It's always nice to give our usual operators a break and go out and toss some CQs in the air. Not sure yet what we're going to be doing about commissary. That's still no end. Hopefully get some news out to people soon. Questions? Back to Anthony.
All right. So with that, other upcoming events, there is CPAC. Anybody want to put a plug in for that?
If you want to see a really good looking lady being a booth babe, then come by the Flex Radio booth. I will be there.
Okay.
Okay, so CPAC is our Pacific Northwest ham get together. And there's be lots of vendors there. So if you've been looking at a radio and thinking about buying it, it's an opportunity to get your hands on those radios. There's a swap meet out there where you can take and buy used products, quite extensive. There's nonstop classes that go on, and that is a really, really neat place as far as learning new things. Friday, if you get on it quickly, I think there's still some open reservations for some all-day training in particular areas. There's several very nice late or dinners, formal dinners that go on, and they're really interesting. The keynote speakers there are always very cool as far as a lot of great technology and to learn things. So it's an opportunity that is well worth it. I know a lot of people have also, I'll bring this one up, but a lot of people have addressed some level of concern about COVID. But I'll just say that, I'm going, but for me, I'm just going to take an extra level of protection, and I'll be bringing a mask with me. But I'm still going to mix it up with everybody because there's some people I haven't seen in almost 3 years now. And I really want to come along and say hi to them, but I'm still going to be very protective on my own health. And from what I've been seeing from this last round of viruses, it's pretty easy to catch it even after you've been well vaccinated. That's it, Anthony.
All right. And then I also believe there is something about a thing over in Ohio coming up shortly.
This weekend, I fly out on Wednesday. Hamvention is in Dayton, Ohio this weekend. So look for, there will not be anything from Flex, I can tell you that to start out with, but the major manufacturers, ICOM, Yaesu, Kenwood, tend to announce things at Hamvention surrounding that. So watch your email boxes for new announcements on that. And, I'll also be back next month and let you know what I saw there. Luckily, I'm getting my way paid by engineering and not sales. So that means that I don't get chained to the booth and forced to do slave labor there for the entire convention. So I'll get out and be able to do some stuff.
Awesome. So with that, is there anything else upcoming?
Well, there is.
Go ahead and take it, Olin.
Sure. Well, you've just missed the first W9 IMS special event for the big three. Next weekend, the W9 IMS will be on the air for the International or Indianapolis 500, the biggie. So you can't get the certificate, but I do have nifty QSL cards. And then the last event will be at the end of July. In addition to Field Day, at the end of May, we have the CQ WPXCW on Friday, Saturday, Sunday for 48 hours, starting on Friday evening. And then the next up thing will be the 13 colonies cycling around the 4th of July weekend for 9 days. If you work all 13 counties, you can get clean sweep and get a nice certificate. You don't have to work them all to get a certificate. If you work only one, you can still get a certificate and it'll reflect what you got. It's kind of a fun event. And then I forgot exactly where it wedges in, but the International Amateur Radio HF context is coming up sometime in that time frame. So that's probably the last contest of the big contesting season until September, October, when they all start again. So that's it.
Awesome. Anything else coming up?
I thought I'd announce on here that for those of us in Lynn County, there's a small group that is meeting at the Apple Tree in Lebanon every Thursday at lunchtime for lunch, just to discuss goings on. It's technically a piece of the Lebanon area amateur radio emergency services. We kind of have a splinter group from LCARES here in town, but they get together on, and I'm there a lot of times. They get together Thursdays at noonish at Apple Tree Restaurant for Lynn County people that might be interested.
Cool. Anything else? All
Quick
right.
question.
Oh,
Quick
go ahead.
question. I've been wondering, is Vaughn Phillips still involved with in Lynn County?
I haven't heard personally because I'm not a real ARES person. So yeah, I'm not. I haven't talked to Vaughn in forever.
Okay, thank you.
Last I talked to him, he was still involved, but
Yeah, last I talked to him, he was too.
Thank you.
all right. And with that, unless anybody else has anything else, we'll kick it over for the presentation.